I am in need of God, the all-knowing one, against the accursed Satan. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, and in him we seek help, and his blessings, and peace be upon Muhammad and his good and pure family. God is a blessing upon Muhammad, the Almighty, the praise, and the prosperity. They are single with respect to the perceptions of those who are strong, and we have stopped at him. He has established that according to what is well known among the philosophers, theologians, and those who followed them, that existence is multiplicity for the multiplicity of existences. Yes, it is necessary to exist. What? 1. And that is why you read in the theological books of abstraction and others, or in the philosophical books of the beginning, the end, and the system, that what exists is either obligatory or possible, and what is obligatory. 1. But the possible also exists. Existence is a reality, there is no metaphorical existence, there is no imaginary existence, there is no existence, and the existence of that is a reality. It is clear. This is Amroya al-Arthaniya Mata. Amroya al-Arthaniya says that existence from that is one, not that existence is one, and this is a difference. What follows is a difference. And the difference is imagined to be the creation of a silver. This is attributed to that. This is close to this bridge of relations. No Aziz, it is not possible. So if we accept that existence is multiple as it is distorted. Existing what is? Multiple. Because we said that if existence is multiple and two existences are added, nothing is added. Existing what is? One is this multiplicity, existence is multiple, and if we accept the existing multiplicity, even the necessary existence, as long as they exist, if God exists, then we would know what is essence, then it is existence without the existence of God, as you say, the existence of countries in the book that say the existence of what God is not an illusion, so it is true, yes, with regard to other existence. You are the essence, you can tell us about the human being, say an animal speaking about the essence of reality, according to what you can tell, you know the answer, we do not know it, it is round for you. That is why it was mentioned in some texts by the narrator of Al-Yaman, and no one knows what it is except him. This is what existence does not know. We know his presence because we share with you what he said. You know what existence is, what it is. Your meaning knows existence and does not know its suffering in the face of nothingness. As for his existence, God. God, what is the reality of what is watery? This is a round of universe, and that is why in the texts there are narrations, Nu'in from Al-Takalumi and Al-Kafufa, meaning about how, they did not indicate this as Hazari, nor, then, Banan on the famous, and what is the common knowledge, that Dhaka is an existence without multiplicity, and your end is there. What does multiplicity mean? Multiplicity of existence. And multiplicity of existence. Existence, and consequently, there is no existence, that we are multiplicity existing in the same way as differentiation and eternity, as we have made clear. The declaration of Al-Hakim al-Sabzwari in the books, Volume 1, page 71, The Transcendental Wisdom, Volume 1. The one who says Tawhid, page 71, footnote number 1, says, the one who says Tawhid, or does he say with the abundance of existence and the existent, what do they all come together? And this is the existing belief. Yes, he says in the abundance of existence and the multiplicity of existence, but he believes that the necessary existence is what is one. I do not speak of the word of monotheism which we have generally spoken and guided by, but people have fallen short in this regard. Whoever among the people says, Riman Rad, Mum, the people are saying that the scholars, theologians, jurists, the Cassili, and the enumerators, and no one else, all of them believe in the multiplicity of existence, and the multiplicity of existence in two. Or he says that existence is one, and existence says, what is one ever? If the necessity of existence is one, then existence is necessary, and the existence is necessary. Existence is one. If existence becomes necessary, then existence is one, and it is necessary, and there is no pain after it. There is no existence in its face. With the oneness of existence and all that exists, which is what? With the oneness of Sufism, you say, apart from me and you, what exists? You and I what? He says again, something that is equivalent to imagination, meaning the most important fantasy that you have an existence and does not behave. An existence that is not yours, and existence only is what its existence is. Either he says it, or he says it with the oneness of existence and the multiplicity of existence. Existence is what it is, but what exists is one and many. This is how it can be depicted. Existence is one, but what exists is many. This is how it can be depicted. Zakal for those who are ambushed. Its opposite is false, for existence to be multiplied and what exists. What does one say? This is impossible after all. If existence is multiplied, then existence is multiplied. Or else they are certain of the oneness of existence and all existing beings in the essence of multiplicity. They are one in the essence of multiplicity. They are a response. Do you assume that they are not with the one who is the one who is the one who is the one who is the one? Tawhid al-Awa. Do not follow this, so follow it, for the empty lead is too harsh to threaten you. What are the common people? The correct threat is this. What do they mean? What did we say? We said that existence is one, but this does not mean that it is this single existence, some of its times, in the same way that the parts of this existence are attached to it. This single existence is encompassing all of these parts, just as you are one Zaid. Even if there are multiple beings, but they are encompassing all of your parts because your parts are outside of this one existence. What is a clear indication of a temporary epilepsy? Is this in relation to perceptions? He may say, our master said, why have you led them to consider the research of perception over belief? It will come, God willing. Why did we introduce the research of perception over the research of perception first? Because it is a logical discussion. There is no logical belief unless there is perception. If there is no beginning and there is no perception, then we move on to what accept logical ratification to believe my words. If you remember that we said that verbal ratification is an optional matter of faith, then we have to say why now in logical ratification, meaning the stature of the evidence is established. This is what is meant by ratification, which is a general classification. Evidence is a classification of evidence for the causes of God's existence to the first causes of God's existence. Here are the notes. I would like the Alizal to search for it. The first observation is to search well. The first observation is that there are multiple torken for its causes for the existence of God to search well. What is with us, our Master? There are multiple paths. The answer is not satisfied with the path, meaning the evidence means evidence to grow in number. No, I don't. There may be a path there, but under the path there is a group of evidence. If a group is found and there is a ring under each path, what is this? There is either one evidence or evidence that you did not enumerate, so do not mix it. Among the methods is the proof of the existence of God, and between him is the proof for the proof of the existence of God. I am present in the paints. It is only the benefit of whispering about what I am, and there is no evidence for it. I do not begin to bark in submission to the paths. Name the path as a prophet. What are its properties? And this path is poison. We say that under this path there is one proof, there is no more evidence, which you did not enumerate. These paths are connotations, and these paths differ from it in terms of their characteristics, in terms of their conditions, in terms of their premises, in terms of their components. Some of them are many, and some of them told me to mean some of them. These methods require 5 introductions in order to get on the road, and some of them the committee does not count 3 introductions, and some of them do not count the one who has 1 introduction and does not know. So, first of all, we are looking into the differences between the existence of God and the existence of God. Under each of these methods, we are looking for whether there is one piece of evidence or multiple pieces of evidence. A question. Tell your mind about you. Imam. Your mind is right. Or attributed to or follow our revelations Buddhist Daku. How is the evidence multiple or is the evidence? 1. It means what is an angel and the number of evidence or the multiplicity of what or the multiplicity of evidence. Road. Altaf Jada. We said one way. And underneath it there is nothing. Prove that it has 2 pieces of evidence, and this is another piece of evidence. The answer we read in the Oroschian region is that if the lower limit differs, then the evidence is multiple. Altaf Jain. This is an accident, and every accident needs 2 innovators. This accident needs an innovator. This is evidence. Ask Tabiji. These are movers. And every mover needs a mover. This needs a mover. This is 2 proofs or 1 proof. There are 2 proofs. Why? Because the middle limit is there, the borders, and the middle limit is here. What is the movement and the hads other than the movement? These are poor people and every poor person needs rich people. So this one needs to Ghana. This is possible, and every possible thing requires an obligation. This requires an obligation. There is the best limit. What did he spend? The potential for occurrence, for movement. Here, if the had has multiple connections, then the jinn of the evidence is multiple. However, if the had or the syllable is one, then what is the single evidence? So it can be under every path the unified evidence, or there is what the DD is the evidence and the meaning of the serial. Come to the unified evidence. The single evidence has one report, or does it have multiple reports? He can. Through which you are right. He can be one guide, but when he decides with the data of his side. Multiple. Mut bad for fodder. The introductions are replaced by conditions and other impediments. This requirement is a multiplicity of reports that need examples. After that, I will be free of yours on the day of the third observation. So the observation. Was the first observation my tongue? The first was the Sunni observation. No, these were observers. The first observation found multiple paths. The second observation. There is under each path. What do I indicate? You did not enumerate it and erased each evidence. What are multiple decisions? We said in order for them to become clear. This is what is meant by that each is under the evidence of multiple reports. This needs to be filled out through the third observations. It will be printed. It's all from you, Yemi Rajan. Third remarks. My dears. The method of proof is either that it is from the effect of the spaghetti that, or it is from the high that which is the effect. I am trying to apply the judiciary because the observers are surprised to know what is best. This is what he uses. The baron is either anion or what for a million. A close example is a rebellious saying. It is a bitter truth. You caused the heat of a fire after you knew paradise. It is the heat, light, and smoke of fire with a causative effect on the causative. That means that he is his Lord. His Lord of it. What? Heat and light smoked even more. We call this Birkengan, because he did not lead us to the cause that leads to the effect. In other cases, it is the opposite, which is that Trajan wanted him to be a traitor. Or this is how you put your hand. You find there is some heat that you are looking for. You say, I don't want to say that there is something here that I write. Here I went from the effector to the effector. This is in the Arust logic. I read it. The first is from the effector to the effector. Anion, and from the effector to the effector. What did not happen during your religion, Mimi? A question that can be established with the proof that I have the existence of God. First, it is possible. Yes, we look at the creatures. We look at this world. They are the existence that around us, from it, we reach an extension according to the evidence of systems. You see that the two systems in this world or occurrences in this world are an accident, and nothing is ancient. I assume that the general zepta is that this material world is an accident, and there is no old thing that needs anything new and an abacus. You see, they are fighting, they need no engine, and they do not need a bran, they need an abacus. You see, there they are with always a sunmashin sun, what a name, it is very possible. It means that the necessary is possible because the possible is that which can exist and they can be non-existent. Of the people before 50 years of existence, now it exists, and after that it dies, so this is old for him, this is a limit, in other words. Mulan is possible for him, and Jaf is possible. If we need this, we call it Barhana, that is, first the mount was erected, and from it we climbed to the pillar of Al-Mu'assir al-Burhan al-Li Meho. I installed the controller, and what do we get from it? To my legacy. God could have set the blame on her, but it could not. It is not possible for this because if he had other entities such as the necessity of existence, then his existence would be possible if there is no proof for him with the proof of Lama until we arrive at proof of the existence of God through the existence of God is not possible. This is not possible because God does not have knowledge. He has no knowledge, so it cannot be established with the proof of Lama on the existence of God. From here, some say that the proof for the absence of the existence of God is either Anian or similarity to Min for him and to Min, and it is not Anian. Let us go to the questioner to the effect, but it is gold. To the intricacies of this entity, and from there it was known that the Taftajita should go to the Talamdat of Mala. Sadra, so do you know the leader of Sadra in our Buranj? That I. Because from the archaeological to the forbidden. What is Rala? What do you know about this man Hun? But from the extent of your hearing, you recognize his characteristics, you recognize his knowledge, you say that they can only be from him. Except from him. Except for his chest. Is it that I am a brick? The answer. Muni. Why is this? Because someone else reached me. Or did you not receive anything from others? Someone else's believer. From its cancellation because you did not free it from its cause, you received the answer from it. No, from it you reached it. This is called what? What's wrong with him? Nor did they, may God's peace be upon them, point to this similarity, which, by way of example, in the book I say about the messenger saying, as they said to Leo, indeed, no, come to the Quran. Why did we recite it from the Holy Quran until it follows a consolation to the verse of Ta'zim from Surah Yusufila? They said, I am like that, Ta you will. They said, you will, see what Imam al-Sadiq is saying, so they knew him by him and did not know him by any other one. From its effect. The spiritual one. What is it? Now. Real-time evidence. And you have a way to reach it. Not one of those who are described has reached what is described. They were forbidden to know. From him. But from it means an entrance to, for example, its meaning. Whoever sat with Adam Kawath knew him about Yusuf, So when they approached him, they said, because you are Yusuf, from him the highest of his armor is not from him, which is the outer world. You remember in the previous research we said how many directions I say knowing God is three, that you strive to start from the outer world, which we left uncle of this, the one who is this Bharani, that it starts from the soul, like Dakar, I think, if I exist, this is the second direction. The third direction is forbidden from it, you start from it, you start with what we said to Ali Asfinoza with this. The direction of the Imam, may God's peace be upon him, says, Akhari says, the best of the other is hammered and useful, but the best path, this path, is to begin with it and end with it, not with anything else and not with yourselves. She said, Fajidar is strange. He said, so he recognized it with it and did not know it with other than it. This is the direction of the first, and they did not curse him from themselves. This is the Cartesian direction, but what? In my heel, supplication, in my heel, supplication in hams, I knew you, and you spoiled me with you, Maklu, your wife spoiled me with what? You and I have this in some of the words of the supplication attributed to Imam Hassam in Arafat. He says that why do you want to lengthen the distance? You want to say, go to the creatures to pray to the Most High. This is food from the basket. What is acceptable? What are you, Mandi, against himself? By myself, this is his strength in the words of wisdom and knowledge, with the proof of the two truthful ones. If with the proof of the two truthful ones, what is the syllable of it? Its explanation is too difficult to explain, but the land of my father is for you the souvenir. The souvenir is not the neon, nor is it a lamion, but rather it is what? He cursed the word, cursed him, cursed the word. What is the clear evidence? If we come, except the two Farahids, it will be trimmed in the third navigation. If we come except the third three. The Islamists say that the evidence for the existence of God is in two ways that do not have a third, either Enyon or what? No knowledge of the million, what is the matter with me? Listen, this is the presence of God. They did not give it to Hassam. So I will ask them. This is a Quran. This is the Quran of honesty. What has been forbidden to you is an ideal. The one who hastened, passed the time, and went on the path of evening. We have made lustful things. God willing, come with us. My condolences to Marza Mahdi al-Ashtiani. A comment on the explanation of the collection of wisdom by Al-Hakim al-Sabzwari, written by Marza Mahdi al-Ashtiani. Is the fatwa presented in the slapping of a quarter, an eighth, and an eighth? He says, this is the proof called the truthful proof, and it is the proof that is evident, and it is the proof of those who cite it as being upon it, and from it they cite everything, and from it they reach its trace, and from its trace they reach. If I know him, he is the most knowledgeable of his creations, humiliated by the insignificant ones. What is the creation? He knows it from the Creator. What is this that is clear to them? What's the difference? The difference between hearing and seeing. Once you know the author, you go to his review, and after the review, you want to go to what? What? What is the difference, dear, then? You get to know the author, with all his particularities, and if he has infinite particularities, you recognize him completely. However, if he consumes him from his effect, then his entire effect is a limited and infinite concern, so you recognize the author precisely or you do not recognize, and you do not recognize a negative, and you do not know a distant one, since going from effect to effect is the evidence of the tracer, since going from effect to effect is complete and complete evidence. What do they know? Is it better or not? He said, they cite him as a witness to him and the exaltedness of everything through him. They exalt his properties, and from him they turn to his essence, to his created beings. Is it not sufficient for your Lord that he is the exalted of all things? A witness. Oh, he who is exalted forever, he exalts his own self. What about his essence? And all the other proofs are martyrdom from other than him, the Almighty, against him. They are proofs of his being, and this is the proof. You call his righteousness my friend. He does not say otherwise. This proof, for by his Barhan I read paradise similar to the one who arose and he turned around and scrutinized him. He arose for a wise man. The devils are to be blamed. These are the packages of their lusts. If it is not more precise than the sage of Sabswari, then it is said by the sage of Sabswari that he said, it is a proof and resemblance to the literal meaning. If the proof that protects the true ones is impossible, there is no doubt as to why, because the literal proof is attached to him. God has nothing to do with it. It is not a stop, so there is no meaning for us to go from the one who comes to it. Rather, this proof has been called such and such a proof similar to God, from the point of view of its similarity, along with the literal proof in conveying certainty and certainty. Contemplation is complete if the evidence or the path on which they rely is followed. O God, more perfect than the path on which it depends. What have people gained from here? But when we reach the explanation, when we reach the immediate proof, one path to multiple paths, not multiple paths. This path. This is the path of good derivation. What is called the reasoning of something other than the thing upon the thing, since the effect is the question of the good derivation. This is the proof of the two truthful people. It is what it is, so it becomes clear what is the reason for it. What is it? He calls it the likeness of the core. This has one report. It has multiple reports. Come with me, dear. The first report is the page of the fourth quarter of Othman. The second report is a quarter of 90. The third report is 1/7. The fourth report is 91. The fifth report. The sixth report. The seventh report. The fat report. The fourth report. The fourth report. The obscene report. Of course, this is until his time after them. You did not verify reports. If at that time some of them became the report of the Master Al-Taif, a crooked one on the books. So, let us take it. So, there are multiple ways to prove the existence of God, and under each path there is what evidence. And each piece of evidence can have one report, or it led to approximations and a difficult explanation. So, to create between the path and the evidence, and you read, and a difficult explanation, and a sweet explanation, that is a development. This is a division, so my scholars, sages, and Muslim speakers do not deny the existence of God. What are the ways, either Enyan? As for what is similar to Mill's question, then there is no shame in the West for ignoring the existence of God. They also follow the same path. If they had another path, the answer to them is another division that has nothing to do with my divisions. So, sorry for the Muslim. What they express is the tribal path and the particular path. Fasin and Shane in Persian. I say in the Persian language the tribal path and the path after it. What is meant by tribalism and partiality? Well, what is meant by tribalism? Someness is what is meant by tribalism, and certainty is that we look at the outside world or before looking at the outside world. So if we prove its existence as a driver and consider us as an outside world or not, then it is its way, but what? Before it, but if we come to the external world, it is the first direction of the three directions, and even the path of the soul is also from the direction. After it, because the soul is also its essence, there it exists, its comparison is clear, and sometimes it starts from here and sometimes it starts from two sides, not from here and from here. They divided the signifiers into the signifiers of what is opposite, and to the extent that what comes after is decisive, the difference between these two divisions now is due to the introduction of technical issues. They said this and then mentioned the most important of my future methods. I do not think that what is after, or before the experience, or after the experience, or before looking at the outside world, or after looking at the outside world. Most important, I just said who is most important. The most important evidence for establishing oneself before looking at the external world is the well-known evidence or proof known as existential proof or ontological proof. The creator of this proof about the Christian ladder known as the Quds ladder is saying in his history, he says, "For 20 years I have been begging God to show me evidence to prove my existence. I believed in his existence, but I want proof of the essence." You will say about someone who believes in the existence of a demon. Evidence of the answer, because it is a group of Christian philosophers who say that faith comes before knowledge. You and I say that the faith after pain means that the faith belief after belief makes sense for what I am, because there is that you believe it is my faith and there is no evidence that you are the proof of the term. The answer is no to Christianity and the philosophers who speak it. The form of faith does not depend on what it is based on the evidence, but I was speaking with Mullah Khalil to evaluate the evidence. O God, do not curse me with doubt, do not curse me with hesitation, do not curse me with a multiplier and those who are like him, but rather that I want proof that God after 20 years will ban him. Oh, evidence! This is evidence after 20 years of communication. Abani, the evidence of paradise, this existentialist, the Burani, the existentialist. I will explain to you that this proof is what it is, God willing, in the coming calamity, but this proof is it easy? I mean, its claim is easy. Is it true? If it is true, if it is researched, he would not say that we, even if we doubted, even if we denied the existence of this thinking world, as soon as we know, that is, imagine, we know the existence of God in our minds from definition and attribution, it must have an external echo, and then imagine it leads to what does not. Export our fields. He says, yes, I have become, if my end starts from something else or does not start from something else, no, it does not start from the unseen, calling for what is the concept of what is the definition of God. This definition says that an abyss accompanies him, what is his external ratification, and his mental ratification. Since this evidence was found in the early or middle of the 11th century, because he was born to a girl, do not confuse me with 3 words of procedure, afuna, 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 afaza, thathaman. Birth means that the language of Jasser for Mulan Hadad is very 9 years old. Hudud was 9 years after him. This proof and this innovation are very strict in the history of the proofs for the existence of God. There is no philosopher in the West who can, for once, agree with this evidence, either agree with it, or with something like suppose, for example. An example of its source and the saying of Jana Asalat, the existence of La Asalat, with him after its source for 400 years. Not to this day, anyone can pass through philosophy and not raise the question of Asalat, the existence of Asalat al-Ma'i, nor Yum Kim, so the philosophers of the West are divided into those who agree and those who agree. This is Carte Spinoza, Malebranche, Hegel came from the clause, Becker, George Berkeley, Kant, Davidio, but, such, Moulin and Hollack, each one of them, Moulin, Uddish, Collada, at this and every one. Some of them said that regarding the report he mentioned, he did not want problems, but there is what? Another report has this proof. To isolate what is said in the Persian language, unfortunately, there is no other way. Burin and my presence, the tambourine is Gharib and the Islamic tambourine. The book Maulana is located in 8150. Akbar about this. And here is our Lord, in the introduction to the book, the good derivation in. The introduction to the book, a summary of the report of Haya with an existential proof, the decisions of the existential proof, the first report, the second report, the report. The third report, the fourth report, the fifth report, the sixth report. Shah Buran al-Sadikin Kanjadibi. You will ascend 10 reports of Mulan within 20 report of this mind to the Prophet. How many will it soon now? God willing. The defenseless will follow it to Abhabat on a Fatak if it is wanted in Kalbaran al-Wujudi and Naz Takwarat Fada at the Garu, and with the Muslims let us see that this is Barhan al-Sadikin if it changes it to you there they said from knowing the 2 attributes Saklaha. This says from knowing their definitions Saklaha what? To confirm his existence, and for this reason, this man has been in charge for 700 years and 6 centuries. Work, for the arbitrariness of the West, come with us to the brilliance and existence of Al-Did Jah and the Safana, Musliman. What is his position? What can you do? Follow him in the proof of the existence of God. Do not take care of those who are clear about the existence of God. And do not take care of those who are arrogant in the field of this world. I turn to the depths of my existence from it. Farabi, Naraki, Garwi, Asfani, Al-Mahakal, Asfani, Muhammad, Taja, Farah, Mahdi, Hari, Yazdi. Typographer Shahid Motahari also signed this proof that divided the mind in its proof of the existence of God after 900 years. You cannot blame it on the Honorable. This is the entire proof, the two parts of it from photography, no, starting from proving it is the Junu and the families of dots, the syllable, and the Khazar. There are no introductions, no states of sequence, no law of causation, only the law of confrontation of the types of your advances, a clash between imaging, not imaging, sound and what? An existential proof like Yadab's depiction of conjugation of the four that is distributed between the four and between conjugation. He says, I found a conjunction between my depiction and what this is, and I believe it. With his presence, he is comparable to him. I say this matter so that the dear ones will know that this is a matter of the stagnation of the existence of God, and it is not a matter of starting this walk until we pass through it repeatedly, nor will it be possible for us to occupy the soul of God, no, the basis of human life, because if you remember in the previous research, I said spinos, and he did not taste, say the first in his question, but then, for what? Because life with Yamani and the existence of God is different from life. And behavior with needing with the absence of Yamani, the existence of God, or doubting the existence of God. This prohibition is one of the problems of life. Nawan and add if it is worth a meeting between me and God, a part of our lives. The thought is that Khalil is the proof of the existence of God, and what is it worth if we follow the commander of the faithful, Ali? Abu Talib was the first religious person to know him, and before I knew him. What? His Sabbath is existential because knowledge was incomplete, but is the Sabbath of Al-Arthama. God has engraved what is said, and this is what God has created, we finally show it, which is that the causes of his existence do not need evidence because he is innate and fresh. This reality is contagious. The nature of God that he created people with. I cannot provide evidence from the verse because we have a call for speech and a human being. What? He does not believe in God, the Prophet, or the Quran. I am absent, but I am the same to you. You are the one who is loyal. I say, the Quran shows that it refers to the path to paradise, the path to another, which is that it basically needs or does not need. It says, you imagine that he needs the shape of him, the creator of the heavens and the earth, basically, he accepts doubt or does not accept doubt. His skepticism is basically the opposite of skepticism. What is the meaning of al-Futric? His way, then all the proofs and reports are like name and bot, and there is no evidence for him as much as they are good, but you are this? What? Is he oblivious to his plot? What? In the dust, that he puts it in the dust, that you ignore God needs madness with evidence that alerts you. This is present in your possession. Behold, you say this way. He says that the presence of God is our life in him, but because he is with us and because he fills all of our existence, so we ask what is because, and we imagine that what it is, the present of the absent and the hidden, say evidence of his existence, and what does he say to God? He says and he is with you. Whatever you write, draw nearer to you yet. So, this Quran is a pasture. Say, near pasture, say. It turns between the pasture and its heart. Do you know the two addresses? I am you, but you are covered. I mean, I am God. No, no, no. Marry them, as we said, I am the mother of hatred. Say, I am a Jinnu. I am a phablet. The truth. You can say, I am a Yiddo, and, Fulan, no, I am a Jinn. The important thing is this. Now, the research is little by little. God willing, the glory will become clear. Praise be to God, the Great One is floundering.